Hi, this is Larry Trocha, and I'm here today to critique one of my show runs from an NCHA show. Uh, for those that don't know, that's a National Cutting Horse Association sanctioned show. And I have my 4-year-old filly entered up in the Derby class. And a Derby class is only for 4-year-olds. So every horse in this class is a 4-year-old. So it's kind of like a level playing field. And this 4-year-old filly that I'm showing here today, she's a big time filly. I showed her last year as a 3-year-old in the fraternities out here, and she did real well. Man, she ended up third in one of the bigger fraternities here on the coast. And we're probably going to sell this filly pretty soon because we have other horses coming up. But I'm sure enjoying her. She's a pleasure to show, and you're always competitive. When you're showing her, you've always got a shot at winning. And we didn't show her a lot this year because we had other stuff going on. But whoever ends up with her is going to have one heck of a horse. So anyway, I'm going to play this run, and I want you to just watch it, kind of judge it for yourself, and then I'll start the run over again, and then I'll kind of critique my showmanship. I'm going to critique the mare, how she's working, and just kind of give you the perspective from a judge's point of view and from a horse training point of view. What could be done better, what was good, what was bad. All right, so let's go ahead and play it, and you go ahead and watch.
Entering the third SHC Display Kitten ridden by Larry Trocha for Civil Day. Thank you. Score for SHC Display Kitten and Larry Trocha is 74. Next entry in the 6th position, Red Morning Light, shown by Brad Bond for John Henry.
Okay, so that was the end of the run. Let me take it back and start from the beginning. There we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and start the critique. I'll go ahead and hit the play button. So as you can see here, the mare's approaching the herd. She looks nice and relaxed. Her ears are up. She's alert, but relaxed. And we've got 2 cows picked out here. Matter of fact, let me just stop it for 1 second here. We've got 2 cows picked out, a red cow and a Charolais cow. I drew up, pretty deep in the herd, down pretty far. And for those of you who don't show cutting horses, it's kind of a tough deal because there's only 3 cows per cutter in that herd, and just about everybody cuts 3. And so if you draw up down toward the tail end of the herd, like we did here, all the best cows have already been cut. So you're kind of left with cattle that aren't very good. The cattle that I have picked, the red cow and the Charolais cow, you can see the red cow right there and the Charolais is right next to him. I think they're pretty good cows. You never know for sure till you get them cut, but I got a good feeling about them. And other than those 2 cows, I don't know of anything that's left in the herd that I would consider cutting. That would be a good cow. So, if I can't work these 2 cows all the way to the buzzer, my 3rd cow is going to be kind of a wild guess, So anyway, so here we go. I'll start it up again. As you see, the Charolais is starting out. That's a good sign. Red cow's right there. As I'm going through the herd here, notice how I'm handling my horse. We're nice and quiet, keeping my hand fairly low. I need to shape the Charolais or the red cow out toward the top of the herd where I got a clean shot at him. Now the red cow's shaping up pretty good. He's on the outside edge. So he's kind of offering my best cut here. Charolais stopped for me, but he's on the inside and there's still too much traffic there. But I got a hold of the red cow. I need to let him kind of go and make space so they help to clear those other 2 cows. So now we're good here. Ooh, I missed right there. Looking good right here. Mare's really intense on her hocks, really loaded on her hocks. I like that. Really accurate right here. She's letting me use her. Nice. Hitting the stops good. Cow turns away, I quit. All right, let's stop for a second. So on that cut, things were set up for me to have a really nice, clean cut. But, the way it turned out, that the red cow kept drifting, to my right. And I wanted to get her stopped right in the middle, get cut right in the middle. But, it didn't happen that way. And I could have cut the Charolais cow, but, it was right up underneath me, a little close. And I would have risked kind of startling my horse, cutting that one. So the red cow was the best option. And I had to let her drift off to the right so that it would create room between the red cow and the other 2 cows that were out there so my help could come in and help clear those cows. And then, once we were cut, I dropped my hand. Mare felt really good. We go across the pen. I ask her to stop it in the middle, and she does. But when she makes that second turn, she jumps out there a little bit too far. We probably took about a half-point penalty on that miss right there. It wasn't a real bad miss, but it was definitely a miss. And then the rest of the run on that cow, real accurate, real correct, really happy with it. So, whoops, let's go. There we go. So let's go back in, and now I'm going to try to cut my Charolais cow. So there's the Charolais standing right there in the middle of the herd. I need to kind of get him out there where I got a clean shot at him. And he's moving away from my horse real good. That's a good sign. I like that. He's telling me he's a good cow. So while he's on his way out, I'm going to trot him way up there, drop my hand. I'm in perfect position to nail him right in the center of the herd, which is exactly what's happening. Mare's got him trapped, keeping him trapped right in the middle of the herd. We're building a lot of points right here. Real accurate, hitting that stop. She's really got her weight cocked back on her hocks, which I really like. Cow turns away. Okay, let's stop for a second here. So, that selection there was real good. I took that cow right up the center of the pen. And the reason I put my mare into a trot was because that cow was on his way out by himself. And I want to make sure I get him far enough out away from the herd before he stops and turns and looks at my horse. It's really hard to get a horse to drive to a cow once that cow stops and turns and looks at him. They want to stop and suck back and be ready to go left or right. Okay, so when your cow's on its way out and you got a chance to get up there, you get up there. And then the rest of the run, I was pretty happy with it. She nailed it right in the middle of the pen. You get points for keeping that cow trapped in the middle of the pen, which she did. Pretty happy with her. So far this run is looking, pretty darn good. I'm feeling I know I'm in the money right now, even though there's already, some pretty high marks. I know I've got a shot here. So let's go ahead. So now, I don't know what to cut next. I don't want to cut something. I know I've got a run that's good enough to get a check. So I don't want to take myself out of the cutting by cutting, a bad cow now. I want to cut something that's fairly safe. And I'm just got to feel my way through this herd. And I don't have much time left. If you look at the clock, I think I've only got 11 seconds left. I should come. You see this black cow with the white face? Ideally, I should turn around and point my horse at that cow and drive him out and finish up on that cow. But I watched that cow, throughout the settling process and during the earlier runs, and he looked like a bad cow. He looked like he would run over me. So I didn't want to cut him. So now I got to search for something that's going to move away from my horse and look good. And there's one right there on his way out. I get him out there. I trot out there, throw my hand down, trap him in the middle just as the buzzer sounds. Let's stop for a second. Now, the reason I chose that cow, you notice all those other cattle, when I went in there for that third cow, all those other cattle kind of whipped around me. They didn't move away from my horse very well. They just kind of trotted around me real tight. And when a cow does that, that horse, that cow doesn't have much respect for that horse. The cow that I ended up cutting was the only one in that bunch there that turned away from my horse and started out into the arena. And that let me know that was a pretty good cow. So, I just turned and came with her and threw my hand down. Now, when I actually threw my hand down, I didn't check my horse. Let's see if I can go back to that spot right there. Okay, here we go. Notice when I drive it out, I don't bump my horse to a stop as I get it cut. A lot of people do, and that hurts your score. Okay, here we go. Watch. We're trotting out, and I just put my hand down. I don't check my horse, bump her back, or anything. I just threw my hand down. She hit the brakes and trapped the cow. Okay, so she marked a 74, which was good enough to win the class. Pretty happy with that. Anytime you can win a class at an NCHA approved show, that's always a good thing. It adds to the earnings on the horse. And like I say, we're probably going to sell this horse a little later on. So the more money we win on her, the better. So anyway, so I hope that critique kind of gives you a little insight as to some of the good things and some of the bad things that can happen to you when you're showing your cutting horse. And we'll just call it quits here. All right, take care.